Hey guys, my name is Kai, and in TFT there are a bunch of terms and words that are used constantly throughout the community that if you're not an avid player, it can be kind of difficult to follow along.
Bro, I swear, Soju does this once a stream now. He gets food, and then he wants to eat, so he just open fort stage 2 and doesn't play the game.
So in this video, I specifically really wanted to help beginners and new players to understand the TFT vocabulary better. This way, if you want to watch other players but you're having difficulty understanding what everybody's talking about from time to time, this video will serve as a really good first step for your whole TFT dictionary that you'll be expanding throughout time. Here are 40... This is a long fucking list, but here are 40 beginner TFT concepts and terms that you need to know if you want to play the game and improve. Now, there's no particular order for the terms and concepts, but for the sake of entertainment, they will go from very beginner and educational to very advanced but Disneyland brain dead. But just for your guys' sake, because I happen to be in a very good mood today, I will put chapter markers in the video itself, so that way you can jump around to wherever you need to. And I'll even include an EXP bar at the top that will just continuously increase as the video goes on. That way you can tell when the terms are starting to go from beginner / educational to advanced but Disneyland fucking brain dead. Fuck. But if you're an advanced player or an avid TFT player, you probably know the majority of these terms. So if you want to just skip to the memes, just jump to number 32. All right, so we're starting off with the beginner / noob / grass toucher term. So the first one is auto attack. This term refers to when a unit attacks automatically as soon as the round starts. These auto attacks deal what is known as attack damage, which is term number 2. Attack damage, or AD, sometimes referred to as physical damage if you're a boomer like Mortdog, is damage that comes from punching, kicking, or anything physical. It's like damage that you would do in real life, as opposed to ability power, or AP, which is our term number 3, which is damage that comes from stuffs like spells or ninjutsu or nen. You know, like basically like magic, if you will. Usually a unit will either primarily deal AD damage or AP damage. Now, term number 4 is tank. These are your beefy boys, usually with a lot of HP and a lot of armor and magic resist. And while they soak in a lot of damage, they usually don't output a lot of damage. Now, I say usually because there are sometimes exceptions, but I'm not going to talk about that right now because I want to stay in a good mood. Term number 5 is frontline. These refer to the units that are closest to the enemies, and these are usually your tanks because they are the first ones to start soaking up damage. The role of the frontline is usually to protect your backline, which is term number 6. Backline refers to the units that are in the back line, behind your frontline. These are usually your units that have low HP and low resistances, but are able to dish out a lot of damage. Term number 7 is push levels or pushing levels. This refers to pushing that button that says level on the bottom left of your screen. So you just keep pressing that button until you hit the next level. And then term number 8, as you might have guessed, is roll / reroll. This refers to hitting that button that's also on the bottom left that says roll. You click on it and you refresh your shop so that you can see 5 new units, or maybe some copies. It happens sometimes. Term number 9 is scout / scouting. This refers to checking other players' boards to see what they are up to. I would argue for newer players that this is a very sort of uncomfortable and difficult thing to do when you're first starting off, so I wouldn't worry too much about it, but just know what the term means. And then term number 10 is comp. Short for the term composition, it refers holistically to your board as a whole. Just as a quick aside, a lot of boards actually end up getting named by the community as the meta evolves over time. So as new comps are developed by top players, new names are given over time via just general agreement across the community. But if you play the game enough and you watch other streamers as well, you'll be exposed to these names pretty quickly. All right, congratulations, we're now at level 2 at the novice / educational level. Term number 11 is roll for X. This typically refers to either looking for a specific unit or until you hit a specific upgraded unit. All you're doing is you're basically rolling your shop until you hit whatever upgrade or unit you're looking for. Term number 12 is econ. Econ is short for economy, which is, you know, just the concept of money in the game, but it's more often used to describe saving money. For example, you might hear players say you should econ to 50, which means you should save your money until you hit 50 gold. Term number 13 is roll down. This refers to rolling your shop until you either hit all of the upgrades you're looking for or until you are 0 gold. Term number 14 is low roll. Now, this is used to simply describe bad luck or you just did not hit anything that good. This can refer to units, but it can also refer to augments as well as items. On the contrary, we have term number 15, which is high roll or dirty high roller. Obviously, this is the opposite of a low roll, and it's used to describe when someone has very good luck and they happen to either hit all their units, all their items, they have really good augments, whatever it is, they are having a very lucky game. They just happen to hit everything that they're looking for. Now, if somebody in your lobby that isn't yourself happens to high roll in their game, it's common practice to call them a dirty high roller. Not because it actually does anything, but this is just a coping mechanism that has developed throughout the TFT community, and if you want to play TFT, you gotta start doing it too. Number 16 is play flex. This typically refers to playing your strongest board without having to roll your shop. You usually implement this strategy when you're unsure of the direction of your board. Normally, you hear this term thrown around a lot during the early game because most of the time you don't really know the direction of your board until later into the game. Now, while you can also play flexibly in the late game as well, normally by hit mid game, you have a general idea as to the direction of your board. You don't hear the term thrown around that much in the late game. Term number 17 is slam or slamming. Simply just refers to equipping your units with items. Term number 18 is streaking. This refers to win streaking or lose streaking, which is very important to keep track of in TFT because TFT actually rewards you for being able to either maintain a win streak or maintain a lose streak by giving you extra money. Term number 19 is vertical comps or play the vertical. This refers to playing most of the units that are within a single trait. So for example, in set 8, if you were playing vertical Anima squad, you're really only playing units that have the Anima squad trait, with maybe a couple exceptions for other traits as well. Term number 20, which is actually the opposite of playing the vertical, which is called playing stand or play stand united. I've heard multiple variations of this term, but it refers to playing as many synergies as possible. The name itself comes from an augment that was introduced in set 6 called stand united, where it rewarded players extra stats for their units when they teched in as many traits as possible. Term 21 is slow rolling. This typically refers to rolling your shot for a specific unit until you hit 50 gold. This way you're maximizing your interest while still looking to 3-star a specific unit. The level you slow roll on is dependent on when the odds are highest for when you can find a specific unit you're looking for. Most of the time, players usually slow roll for level 1, 2, or 3 cost units if they're playing that specific comp. Term number 22 is pivot. It simply refers to changing from the comp that you're currently playing into a different type of comp. And then term number 23 is contested. This refers to when somebody else in the lobby is being an asshat and has decided to run the same comp as you. This is generally not a good thing because there's a limited number of units in the pool, so the odds of you finding the units that you're looking for are actually lower when you're being contested. Alright, level 3. Intermediate term / gold players should probably know what these are. Term number 24 is play or playing to your out. This refers to just simply playing towards your win condition, and I have a whole video about this. If you want to go check it out, I'll put it in the info card up here. Term number 25 is itemization. This is a very general term used to describe the concept of what items to throw onto what units. And while I do have a video on this from a while back, they did make some item changes so that itemization is a little different than what it was in set 7. So my video is a bit outdated, but I'll definitely try to throw an updated one in the future. Term number 26 is called playing standard. This refers to a somewhat standardized way of leveling as the game progresses. This can change as the meta shifts, but in general, it's you level 4 at 2-1, you are level 5 at 2-5, you are level 6 at 3-2, level 7 at 3-5 or 4-1, and level 8 at either 4-2, 4-5, or 5-1. It's a bit ambiguous and changes per game, but as you play the game more, you'll have a better understanding as to what standard actually looks like. But again, those checkpoints tend to be where standard usually is. Term number 27 is fast 9, fast 8, etc. Fast whatever X number. This refers to economically saving as much money as possible in order to quickly hit whatever level you're trying to hit. Usually if you're fast 9, you're trying to hit level 9 by 5-1. If you're fast 8, you're trying to hit level 8 by 4-2. And fast 7 is 3-5. Term number 28 is open board. This refers to basically playing the weakest board you possibly can in order to try and sustain a lose streak, usually in the early game, or if you're trying to play an economic trade that rewards you for losing. This can also refer to selling all your units that are on your board and bench to completely open your board. This way you can basically 100% ensure that you lose a round, but if somebody else also sells all their units on their bench and board, it's just a coin flip and one of you automatically wins and one of you automatically loses. I highly don't recommend doing it.
This is what I
watch. I know I win the 50-50s. I've gotten Mort Dog countless times today. There's no way I get Mort Dog here, trust. Give me him. Fuck it, just let me fight him. I'm fighting him. Come on, Mort! What the fuck?
Term number 29 is holding hands. Not as cute as it sounds. It refers to when 2 or more players are running the same comp and both refuse to pivot out of it. Since they're both looking for the same units and they're contesting each other, they both have a harder time finding the units that they're searching for, so they both end up going to bot 4 because neither of them are usually able to spike their board to the level it needs to be in order to win out the lobby. Which leads me to term number 30, me X no pivot no scout. This refers to when a player decides to just completely turn their fucking brain off, choose one comp to play, and just fucking run it. They don't care who's playing it. They don't scout anybody's board to check if anybody else is playing it. They just said, fuck it, me X, no pivot, no scout. X, by the way, refers to whatever comp they're trying to play. Usually, you'll hear people say stuff like, me mech, no pivot, no scout, or me Anima, no pivot, no scout, stuff like that. Just to be clear, this term is usually meant sarcastically, but there are some players who are just built different in the worst way possible, and they just do this every single game, and you know what? That is a them problem. Term number 31 is 20 out of 20, or 20-20. It's synonymous with every time, but this refers to playing the same comp every single game. The number 20 is used because on a very popular stat tracker website called lolchess.gg, it usually shows an infographic of your past 20 games. Finally, congrats, we are now on the final level, level 4, with advanced / Disneyland terms. Term number 32 is Just like how Mandarin is a tonal language, it has to be used in that specific tone and in that specific dynamic. Typically used to describe confusion or just weird things happening, is most notably used by popular NA TFT influencers K3 Soju and Milk. Term number 33 is Mort or Mortdog or Mortdogged or Morty. It's like saying Jesus Christ, but instead of referring to God's son, you're referring to the lead developer of TFT. Just like the term Jesus Christ, this can be used in incredibly positive situations, but it's most notably known for being used in very, very negative situations.
What we do is right.
Got them in my sights.
This is gonna tickle. Above all else. Above all else. I stand ready.
Term number 34 is Disneyland. Popularized by OCE streamer Esha, which by the way, this does not refer to the happiest place on earth. It is a term specifically used for the North American server because apparently playing in North America is like playing with children, or it's almost not real, which is rich considering that it's coming from an OCE player. But again, this can also be used broadly to describe something that is unreal stupid or unreal dumb. Term number 35 is K3 Soju. Yes, he's actually a term you should probably know. At the point of making this video, K3 Soju or Soju, the most famous high elo TFT streamer in North America. He's sort of the face of TFT influencers and personalities. And for better or worse, but probably worse, because of the way this absolute buffoon talks and because of how often people in the TFT community see his content, a lot of TFT vernacular actually revolves around what this guy says. His most popular known catchphrases are, "It's too lit, I'm going 8th." He says it like that, I don't know why. Huh? And "Mort dog." Those are, there's some examples. Number 36, which is position diff, or the word diff after anything. It's typically used to describe a difference in either skill or luck. Should be noted that you need to enunciate the word diff. Like you can't say like position diff, you gotta say like position diff. Like there's an enunciation to it. The stronger you enunciate, the harder the diff. If you're spitting while saying the word diff, that's probably a gargantuan diff. And if you're stuttering while saying diff, you should seek help. Number 37 is I'm going 8th. It refers to when the direction of your game is looking doomed. But you don't actually have to be going 8th to use this phrase. You could be going 4th and still go I'm going 8th. It's also important to note that if you ever see a clip of any TFT streamer, it is common practice to comment they went 8th in the comment sections, regardless of the outcome of the clip. Number 38 is A. It's used to express when something interesting happens. Number 39, I don't even want to try to say this one. I'm just gonna leave it up on the screen and I will just play a clip and you will probably understand what it means.
How come Milk has 3 thieves' gloves? Where's my thieves' gloves?
And then number 40, whatever the fuck this one is. Okay, but thanks for making it to the end of the video. I hope this was educational. I hope this helped you out. And I hope this built a little bit more of your insight into the terminology in the TFT community. Hopefully, this has helped, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, guys, and happy climbing. Bye-bye.